Hi, this is Doug with IdahoMMA.com. I'm here with Jesse Brock at Combat Fitness. How's it going, Jesse?
Good.
Now, you're the main event coming up on August 21st at the Idaho Center at Rage in the Cage 5. Tell us your thoughts on that promotion.
I'm just real excited to have a pro event back in Boise, and well, the last few years, there hasn't been many pro opportunities, especially past the beginner level, so I'm just excited to have an opportunity to compete, and being close to home is always nice too. So
now you train at Combat Fitness, and you're a member of the Twisted Genetics team. Normally, the focus is on other fighters like Scott Jorgensen or some of your other fighters that you help train and coach. Now all the focus is on you. How's that different?
It really isn't that much. Even though, because the way our gym works, at least, everybody's getting coached all the time. It's just there's more attention being paid to the fighters that have a fight coming up. So, I'm still getting coached by, guys that, that are better than me in areas. Matt May, Freddie Ortega, helped me out with the striking a lot. And Scotty Jorgensen, he's always helping me out in all areas because he's a pretty well-rounded guy. Scott Tomitz helps me out with the jiu-jitsu. I go and train with Mitch Coates over there too, and obviously his resume speaks for itself. So, I'm always getting coached myself. Now I'm just getting a little extra attention, and I enjoy it. It's nice to be able to step back and not have to focus on others and be a little selfish for at least a few weeks. So
yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's nice. Well, you deserve it. I know that on Rage in the Cage 5 on their events Facebook page, they had a couple questions. One was who was the best pound for pound fighter, and the other one was who was the best trainer. And your name came up multiple times on both those, so that's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, it does. I've been a coach my whole life, wrestling. It's something because things don't come naturally to me as much as they might come to others. So my whole life I was having to, growing up wrestling, I was having to work a little harder to teach myself how to do stuff. I'd have to ask extra questions to really understand the techniques, and I think that just kind of carried over. It allows me to explain things better to people, and I'm fortunate I've had a lot of great coaches in the wrestling world and a lot of great trainers, when I came over to MMA, and I tried to remember what they taught me, the way they taught it to me, and then that helps kind of seal it in my memory, and then it allows me to help tell others that same thing, teach them the way I learned. And like I said, I think if it doesn't come easy to you, you're forced to kind of break it down, and then you learn it a little more, you learn how to explain it better, and I think that's just kind of how it worked, and and I enjoy watching other people succeed too, so I don't mind spending a little extra time with somebody that I know wants to learn, and it's gratifying watching them go out and have success with the techniques that you've taught them. So,
Speaking of wrestling, you're a two-time high school champion. You're a two-time Pac-10 college champion at Boise State. Now, how did you transition from your career at Boise State to mixed martial arts now? How'd you get involved?
I really had no desire to necessarily. Not that I didn't like the sport. I enjoyed it a lot. It just, I didn't really consider myself a fighter. I'd never been in a fight, really, outside of, ones with my little brother, and those don't really count. So, but I do enjoy a challenge, and I enjoy learning new things, and, Scott Jorgensen was my my college teammate, and after I graduated, I stayed on and helped coach at Boise State, and so I was helping coach while Scott was finishing up his eligibility, and he always had it in his head. He talked about it a lot. As he was finishing up college, that he wanted to make the transition over to MMA, and I thought it was cool. I always figured he'd be real good at it, and then he and my younger brother actually invited me to go and train with them just over at the MMA program they had at Gold's Gym a few years back, and went in, and I had a lot of fun. It was at the time I was kind of looking for something different to do. I think I was, kind of nearing the end of my competitive wrestling career. Just I wasn't enjoying it as much, so I was looking for something different. And then I just kept going back. I started learning some jiu-jitsu and enjoyed that a lot. I felt like that came a lot more naturally to me. And then striking, I was pretty bad at, but like I said, I enjoy a challenge, and you know, there's a lot to learn in the striking realm too. So, you know, I just kept going back, kept learning. You know, I watched Scott fight twice, and I decided, you know, I wanted to go out there and try it at least once. And you know, once turned into 20 times, and here we are today. So yeah, it's just, you know, and just kind of go with it, and you know, go with your gut. Sometimes it takes you to places you didn't think you'd end up.
Right. Well, now you fought some of the best out there. You know, Demetrius Johnson. You know, he's fighting for the flyweight title, and then you fought Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who's fighting tomorrow night in the UFC. You train with Scott Jorgensen, so and you've got all this top talent that comes through your gym. How's that prepare you? It's got to make you a force out there to your opponent.
I suppose. I mean, it helps me most just with confidence. You know, knowing that you know, I've seen a lot in training that, you know, that's going to be hard to replicate with a lot of my opponents. You know, unless you're fighting at the highest level. So, you know, it just gives you a lot of confidence going out there knowing that there's not a lot that I'm not going to be prepared for. You know, I mean, each fight's different, you know, and not everybody's going to fight the way your training partners do, the guys that you fought in the past did. So, but, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'll go into a fight knowing, like, you know, this dude I'm fighting isn't as tough as, you know, the guy I just fought, or, you know, the guy I fought a few years ago, and, you know, it calms you down mentally a little bit. You know, it's still a stressful experience, but, you know, a lot of it's just confidence, you know, knowing that I'm not going to see something I haven't seen before.
So, are you looking forward to August 21st?
Absolutely.
At Rage in the Cage? I know as a fan, a mixed martial arts fan, I'm really looking forward to watching your fight, and I really appreciate your time, Jesse. Thanks again.
Thank you.